Welcome back to the program. With me now, Liberal MP Tim Wilson. Labor says it's fair game to be targeting the Prime Minister in this ad. That it's it's a tough game, and that's the way politics is played, and he's being held accountable for his policy. What do you say to that?
Well, what we know is that every Australian is actually going to benefit from the tax reform and the tax relief that this government is delivering. So, Labor attacking the Prime Minister, yawn, frankly. When it comes down to it, the focus of the government is on making sure that we're delivering outcomes for Australians. Obviously, the opportunities for job growth, but obviously also reducing pressure on household budgets.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that what we now have is a very clear division within the ALP about strategy. We saw that with Anthony Albanese's speech on Friday night, where you can't even get him to agree to Labor and Bill Shorten's agenda. And the question for Anthony is, does he support? The question for Albo is, does he support this new attack ad campaign on the PM? You look at the focus on the Prime Minister's wealth. Do you think that is seen as a negative in the electorate, that perceptions of him as a quote, a snob or a toff, that sort of perception that Labor clearly has been trying to pursue in question time? Well, they're trying to paint a picture which is just inaccurate. The Prime Minister is acutely aware of the challenges facing household budgets. That's why we delivered income tax relief. That's why we're trying to create job growth, job-boosting tax reform for companies so that more Australians can be employed, so there can be bigger dividends for pensioners who are struggling and those on tight incomes. That's precisely what the Prime Minister understands. That's precisely what we understand. If you compare it to what Labor is doing, which is they're fighting amongst themselves about strategy and purpose, and particularly now we've seen this run-off by Anthony Albanese, who's clearly going to at least have a crack at the leadership at some point based on by-election results. When
you look at the polling and the Reachtel poll today via the Australia Institute, it shows that the company tax cuts still remain unpopular, certainly at least in two of those seats, Mayo and Longman. Is this your feeling that the government's still got a bit of work to do to prosecute the case about economic growth and the benefits of a company tax cut across the board?
The task of persuasion never ends, Kieran, because there'll always be people who are cynics or seek to tear down the government's
What about in
agenda.
Goldstein? Is it the similar sort of feeling?
Well, the message I get in Goldstein is consistent, which is income tax relief is positive because it means more money in people's pockets and more spending power. A lot of people who own small and medium businesses desperately want the company tax cuts because it means they can employ more people, create job opportunities for local residents, and grow the economy. And I think that's the message across the country. Do we have more persuasion? Sure. But good ideas often take a long time to persuade people. We've seen that with the income tax cuts, and I think we're going to see the same thing with company tax cuts too. So you reckon,
quietly optimistic, you'll get them through the Parliament this week? Obviously, it's Matthias Cormann's remit, but as someone who's obviously got a close interest in it, do you think you're still a chance? Well,
the Senate whisperer is now referred to as Matthias Cormann. He does an outstanding job. Do I think he'll work with the crossbench to get this delivered? Yes. Am I putting a time frame on it? No. Good ideas sometimes take a while to come to fruition. What we know is that if we cut company tax, we will deliver greater job opportunities for Australians, and that's the focus of this government.
Tim Wilson, as always, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Kieran.
We'll catch you soon.